Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is to you, my friends. I've been having some issues with the interaction between OBS and this game, so it just keeps happening where I'll boot up the game and it will basically just kick me out. Because of that, I made some progress on stream and I didn't get to record a lot of it. However, it's just grinding, this is an idle game, so I don't really feel like it's going to change a lot from the viewer experience. So I think it's fine. We have every building totally maxed out at this point. There's nothing left to upgrade. For perks, I'm using katana abilities cannot be dodged. 50% chance to activate a non-counterattack ability when you counterattack. Max life. Dodging activates abilities. Counterattacks damage the entire enemy party. Ability power for all abilities are increased by 25% if your current life is more than 50%. Physical block chance and magical block chance are increased. And 25% chance to use a melee ability in additional time. Now that I'm looking at it, I've changed my equipment, so this actually needs to be replaced. So maybe we'll use this because we're not really dodging anymore. Should be fine. It'll make me a little bit more durable. I almost made the mistake I said I wasn't going to make. Okay, so what we've gone with here is physical and magical block chance and melee attack with max life on everything that we can, at least. This one I need to change a little bit. We've been experimenting with different builds. So we'll do a little jump cut to when this is complete. Okay, my friends, it's complete. So this is really the core here. We have block chance on everything, and then the shield converts our block chance into ability power. So it does a lot of damage. Currently, we're upgrading our katana bit by bit. It's not a big difference, but something. So now that we've made those changes, let's try the red tree. I don't really think that we can actually do this, but there's always a chance. Okay, that was actually close. Maybe if we get lucky, we actually win that? It's actually close. So this is the last boss of this game. I feel like if we get, yep, we got a random kill, and there goes the last boss. So obviously we can continue grinding this if we want, but this is not an efficient place to be. Where we should be is something like the Vile Domain, which doesn't give the same level of experience, but it's one of the highest that you could grind. We should be in a place like this. Alternatively, you can do dungeons like this. However, we want these. So we'll go back into the Vile Domain, which we have been spending some time in. And as you can see, this is quite easy. This is content which my character has no problem with. The Vile Domain, it's a lot of poison damage and debuffs. Well, my character has Revitalize, and it casts Revitalize over and over again. So it's constantly clearing off status effects. It also has Hype Up, which is a nice little heal that will occur from time to time as well. So we can run this without much stress as long as we want. This boss basically gets two or three shots, so I mean it dies really easily from all the counterattacks. So this is kind of where we're at. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on where the character's at, how it's going. It's going well. It's going well enough to kill the last boss, just not flawlessly. So there will be a little bit of gear adjusting required. Speaking of gear, we'll just take a look at it in greater detail. So we're using the black ring to triple the crit damage. I feel like that's better than the thorny ring, but why don't we just try the thorny ring on the last boss? I think it's going to be worse. It's definitely worse. So, you know, basically the chance to clear this is you get like a random one shot with the black ring, which triples your crit damage. It says you always crit. Your physical and magical defense are always 0. We also always crit with counterattacks. That's a little bit redundant, but it's okay. It doesn't make a big difference because what we really want from this is the triple crit damage. We also get the ability power from the shield. We also get a lot of life from Heavy Mantle, and because we're not really attacking, we don't care about the melee and the magic speed debuff. Agility being nerfed is unfortunate, but it's okay. It is what it is. Actually, this shield is pretty nice. I'm gonna say this shield is actually better. Well, it's not every day that we get a upgrade, so we'll take that. Kind of curious now. Katana Mastery and melee attack, will that be enough? No. Okay, we could have surmised as much. So yes, what we're gonna do is just kind of either hang out in Beyond for experience, which does give us everything that we would want. You know, maybe we should. So I think we're gonna hang out in Beyond to get the most experience possible for the longest runs while we idle. But yes, my friends, that's an update as to what the character is doing, where the character's at. I think it's going pretty well. And I need the thing that does counterattacks on all enemies now that I'm not doing bosses, so we'll get out of here. We'll make that adjustment. Counterattacks damage the entire party. That is equipped. So why didn't it damage the entire party? I thought maybe I unequipped it for the boss. Well, we're gonna run this back and test it again to see if maybe that was a bug, because the counterattack should hit the entire enemy party. But it's not for some reason. It's very strange. Okay. I don't know why it's not working, but in either case, this is what we're going to do. We're going to idle in this space for a while. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in as always. That's going to be it for this video. Please feel free to subscribe, leave a comment if you found it interesting what we're doing here, and we'll see you on the next one. As always, links to my Twitch channel in the bio, and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.